Hey planner friends, how's it going? Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. My name is Ryan and this is A Man with the Plans, and we are in my monthly budget planner here. This is the Erin Condren, I believe it's the deluxe monthly, and normally I track every single one of my budgets here, but we're in the back of the notes pages, and because of a recent change in my life, I was actually able to pay off all of my debt and become debt-free back in September, so you can go ahead and see that video up there. I need to start thinking about my emergency fund, which is baby step 3. For those of you that are not familiar with the baby steps, it's by none other than Dave Ramsey himself, and he has 7 steps that guide you from baby step 1 all the way to financial freedom. And so the way that we're going to do that, there's a whole video I have actually about that from a while ago. If you want to go ahead and check that out, I'll leave that linked down below or up in the card. But really, baby step 3 builds off of the emergency fund that you started at step 1. So baby step 1 is save $1,000. So the fun part about that is that you have that ready to go in the event that something does go wrong, knowing that you're likely not going to be able to cover all sorts of expenses, or if things go wrong that's more than $1,000, it's going to slow your snowball back. Now that I'm completely out of debt and have nothing to worry about or don't owe anybody anything, now my focus is around building up an emergency fund, a safety net that keeps me feeling good and feeling in control. So that's called the Fully Funded Emergency Fund, or what I learned on an acronym from a live video I did a couple of weeks ago. That's the FF. If you're new here to my channel, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'm all about planning, budgeting, and personal development, so if you like any of those, go ahead and subscribe to this channel so you can see my content in your newsfeed whenever it's published. I've been starting to do some YouTube lives, so you should come hang out for those. But today is all about planning for that fully funded emergency fund, being able to keep a nice set of liquid assets available in the event that I ever need them, hoping that I won't. But you know what? What's that acronym? Or not acronym, what's that saying? It's always gonna rain at some point, so you should have an umbrella. Well, I'm working to build a nice, strong, sturdy umbrella for myself to be able to help deal with the fact that it might start raining. So what I'm gonna do here is really sort of map out my monthly expenses and how much it would cost. And mind you, this is one of those things where it's a bare bones. So like, let's say I lose my job, right? So I'm not gonna be going out to eat, I'm not gonna be having a big party, I'm not gonna be going on vacation and traveling all over the world. But what I wanna do is really think about, what am I doing to be able to keep the lights on, keep the 4 walls, keep the food on the table, those types of things, keep the gas in your car. It's all of the things that are gonna keep me safe and make sure that I can kind of keep moving for a couple of months while I figure out what's happening in this sort of particular position. So I'm gonna walk through all the different expenses, how much I've estimated they will be. As you can tell, some of these are most of the items from my expenses on my normal budgets. However, I might have kind of scaled them down a little bit. So I'm definitely not gonna need a ton more for personal or for restaurants, cut that all back, make sure you're having some beans and rice again if something goes wrong. So let's go ahead and zoom you guys in a little bit, and then we can kind of go through some of the actual expenses that I have planned. So obviously the first one really is around housing. So I'm gonna put rent/mortgage. Some point in the near future, I would really like to buy myself a house, make sure that's there. My current monthly cost for housing is around $1,650. That includes rent and parking in downtown Minneapolis. So a little bit spendy, but I think that's reasonable for a mortgage as well. So good to forecast those expenses now. The next thing I have to worry about here is my car insurance, right? I've got my car, I paid it off last summer. And so my car insurance is estimated at $95 a month. That also actually includes my renter's policy. I bundled that in there as well, so that might change depending on my homeowner's insurance, but whenever I decide to make that buy, I'll bring you all along with me for sure, so don't worry about missing out on that. The next thing is internet. So obviously, internet has become such a crucial thing now that we're all working from home, so I expect that I'll need that too. My current internet cost is $79.95, so that's gonna remain the same. Moving along, the next thing we'll need here is utilities. So gotta keep the lights on, gotta keep the house warm or cool, depending on what season it is here. Gotta keep the water running, and so I'm gonna estimate $100. That's all inclusive. I'd rather be safe than sorry, so having a little bit more to sit around is never a bad thing in my opinion, so I'm totally fine with that. All right, so we talked about utilities. The next thing important is groceries, right? So making sure that there's food on the table, something that's not going to change. I'm always gonna get hungry no matter what circumstance of life I'm in or what baby step. Normally I budget $300, but because This is an emergency fund. I'm gonna put 200. I can probably go a little bit cheaper on the food that I'm eating. So I think we'll just go ahead and add the double zeros here. But that's just gonna be for me, you know, making sure, maybe I'll have more, maybe I'll have less, but just something that I wanted to map out. The next thing is personal. So this is like cleaning supplies, shampoo, conditioner, a haircut. Normally this is a little bit more than this, but I'm including $70 a month just because it includes so many other things that I might need. The next thing here is gonna be for restaurant. While I don't expect to be eating out at like 5-star restaurants, you know, saving a little bit and having something ready to go. It's 50 bucks, nothing crazy. And then the other thing here that I have to worry about also is gas for my car. And I have gas estimated at $60 a month. Generally, I've not been driving too much because of everything. I haven't really had the need to leave the house, but the other, go ahead and kind of figure out, like, it's good to have an extra little cushion there as well. And the very last thing that I wanted to do is I'm still gonna be contributing to my sinking funds. And that's been at $280, and I'm just gonna go ahead and budget for that for the meantime. And then we'll go ahead and do some quick math and we'll come up with a total here. All right, so when we go ahead and total that up, everything that I'll need per month, my estimated monthly expenses for my bare bones budget here is going to come out to $2,584.95. Not too shabby. I think the thing that I love the most is that my number for how much I need to like live every month has gone way down since I don't have my mandatory student loan payments anymore. It's so nice to have that money like floating around when you need it. So that's what it looks like at the moment. Now the thing that you need to do here is Dave suggests between 3 to 6 months of living expenses. That can depend on your lifestyle, your situation, those types of things. He generally recommends people that live by themselves or are on one income should probably err on the side of caution and go towards 6 months. So what I'm gonna do here is kind of map out what each of these looks like. So if you take this number and you multiply it by 3 for each month, our total that we would need to save for is $7,754.85. Totally doable, but I feel like I might need a little bit more. And so the other band here is 6 full months. So we're gonna go here and multiply that number by 6. And your total here really is gonna come out to $15,509.70. Now, I actually don't feel like I need to have a full 15,000. So what I settled on is kind of right in the middle. So my emergency fund goal, my goal is pretty simple. It's $12,000. So that's at least gonna be 4 months of living expenses and be really, really safe and secure knowing that I've got that whenever I need it. It's almost to 5 months actually. So basically that's kind of how I'm kind of mapping all of this out, is if I need to keep $12,000 just hanging out somewhere waiting for me whenever I need it, it'll be good to go. And so that really is kind of my plan for my baby step 3 for me. I'm not doing a whole lot of crazy stuff. I did create a money market account that I've just been sort of transferring money over. So I started by moving my $1,000 emergency fund over. So my savings goal really is $11,000 because I sort of had that head start, if you will. So I'm hoping to save $11,000 between now and whenever I've finished. My hope is to do a little bit more, around $1,500 a month if I can, to be able to put in there to top it off. That's my goal. I'd love to have that sooner rather than later, and then I'll be able to kind of kick over into what they call baby step 3B, which is planning for that down payment for a house, because as much as I've loved living downtown and renting, it's super convenient. It's time for me to be able to get some equity and be able to sort of pay down my own, like pay myself, you know? So every month I'm able to put towards my mortgage and then be able to sort of reap those rewards down the line. That's gonna about wrap this video up. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it, and it does help our little channel out here. If you haven't yet subscribed, again, go ahead and click that red subscribe button so you can see all of my fabulous content when it's in your newsfeed whenever it's published. I'm gonna be making new videos twice a week moving forward. Probably Tuesday, Thursday is where we're falling, I think, right now. And I'm thinking about doing a live stream every now and again, so look for those in the community tab. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day and you're making smart money moves. Talk to you later. Bye, planner friends.